The Winter War is barely a week old. On paper, Finland's defeat already looks inevitable. Soviet divisions push through the eastern forests, their numbers overwhelming, their momentum steadily building. At Sujärvi, a breakthrough threatens Finland's rear, opening a path behind the country's main defensive line. Marshal Mannerheim reacts quickly, reshaping command before hesitation turns into collapse. Colonel Paavo Talvela receives a direct order: stop the retreat, seize the initiative at Tolvajärvi. Tolvajärvi is no ordinary battlefield. Dense forests, narrow passages, and frozen lakes shape every decision. The ice can carry men and vehicles, but it offers no cover from bullets or artillery fire. Fresh units arrive from reserve, rushed forward to stabilize a front already bending under pressure. Talvela assigns the critical approach to Aaro Pajari, leading Infantry Regiment 16 into the chaos. Border villages lie abandoned and burning, their flames lighting the snow as units pull back. Pajari arrives to find retreat turning into disorder, small groups drifting back without officers or direction. He stops them where they stand, rebuilding the line from fragments and exhausted men. Ahead, Soviet troops dig in around Tolvajärvi, believing time is finally on their side. Talvela refuses to wait. The enemy must be shaken before it can settle. In the dark hours of December 9th, Pajari moves silently toward Kivisalmi, and the forest holds its breath. Night settles over Tolvajärvi. Finnish ski troops move silently, their approach hidden by forest and darkness. Their target is Kivisalmi, a narrow choke point linking road, forest, and frozen lake. Across the ice, Soviet troops gather around fires, warming themselves, convinced the Finns are still retreating. Pajari circles his men wide through the trees, choosing positions carefully, without urgency or noise. There is no rush. Surprise is complete, and every rifle is already aimed. The attack erupts suddenly. Rifle and submachine gun fire tears into the camp at point-blank range. In just 4 minutes, the Soviet position collapses into confusion and panic. Reinforcements rush forward from the road, but the Finns are already pulling away. The attackers vanish into darkness, leaving no clear direction, no fixed enemy to pursue. Behind them, Soviet units fire blindly, confused by shadows and echoes in the trees. The following days are quieter, marked by reconnaissance and digging into frozen ground. Before dawn on December 11th, Pajari travels the road back toward Tolvajärvi. Suddenly, scattered rifle cracks break the silence, then heavier gunfire closer ahead. A Soviet unit has slipped into the Finnish rear, cutting the road and striking supply troops. Cold, hungry, and exhausted, the Soviet troops make a fatal pause, unaware they are about to be counterattacked. Pajari reacts instantly, gathering what men he can, knowing any delay here could unravel everything the counterattack has achieved so far already. Roughly 100 Finns turned back toward the gunfire, moving fast along the road despite exhaustion and freezing night air conditions everywhere. They collide with Soviet troops looting supplies, surprised mid-meal, their weapons scattered beside steaming field kitchens along the roadside at dawn. Fighting erupts at close range, chaotic and brutal, flashes lighting faces as both sides struggle for control of the road section. Despite surprise, the Soviet unit resists fiercely, forcing the Finns into a hard, grinding fight through darkness and confusion everywhere around. Hours pass before the engagement breaks, bodies left in the snow as the road is finally reopened to traffic again, slowly. The disruption costs Talvela precious time, but it does not change the larger plan taking shape for Tolvajärvi counterattack ahead now. Both sides pause to reorganize, unaware the coming hours will decide far more than a single road in this sector alone. Finnish casualties are light but felt, every loss magnified within small, tightly bound units drawn from nearby towns and villages. Soviet losses are heavier, confusion spreading as confidence built on numbers begins to crack under winter pressure and constant harassment. For Pajari's men, exhaustion sets in, yet momentum now belongs to those who move first in these forests and lakes. Talvela prepares the next phase, coordinating scattered units for a decisive strike against the exposed enemy around Tolvajärvi very soon. The battlefield quiet hides constant movement, skis whispering, messages carried hand to hand through snowbound forests under extreme cold conditions. Both armies sense the balance shifting, though neither fully understands what is coming next after Tolvajärvi will echo widely soon. The coming counterattack will test endurance, leadership, and whether Finland can turn defense into victory against overwhelming odds this winter. The counterattack begins before dawn. Finnish units moving in coordination across frozen lakes and forest corridors toward Tolvajärvi. Soviet forces, stretched and misaligned, struggle to respond as pressure arrives from unexpected directions simultaneously. Finnish tactics emphasize speed, surprise, and local superiority, turning terrain into a weapon rather than an obstacle. On the ice, exposure is deadly, yet hesitation proves even more dangerous under sustained Finnish pressure. By midday, Soviet cohesion begins to fracture, withdrawals turning uneven as command struggles to regain control. Tolvajärvi is retaken piece by piece, not through force alone, but through discipline and timing. The victory shocks observers far beyond Finland, challenging assumptions about modern warfare and numerical superiority. For the Red Army, Tolvajärvi becomes a warning, revealing weaknesses that will demand costly correction later. For Finland, the battle delivers something rarer than ground, proof that resistance can succeed even against overwhelming odds. Talvela's decisions earn recognition, his willingness to act shaping one of the war's earliest turning points. Pajari and his regiment return to the line, their success measured not in praise but survival. The winter war continues, brutal and uncertain, but Tolvajärvi alters its opening narrative forever. Historians later mark the battle as a lesson, where leadership and terrain overcame numbers and expectation. In frozen forests near Tolvajärvi, Finland proved it would fight, adapt, and endure. The battle's legacy endures, not as a miracle, but as a reminder of preparation, resolve, and human will.